What's up, Straight Up Sister Squad? It's your girl, RaqC.
And I'm LaSusie.
And together we are
Straight Up Sisters, the podcast.
I'm the Bratty.
And I'm the boss.
And we love having those deep, intimate conversations where we often agree and disagree, but still love each other.
So if you love it served up with no chaser, then you're in the right place.
We are undoubtedly your favorite girls. You know who we are.
Straight Up Sisters, the podcast. Didn't I just say that? Hello.
Action time. Straight Up Sisters, the podcast, y'all. What are we even doing today?
What are you doing today?
You know what? I ran out of water and I need a refill.
I need a refill.
But I will tell you that we are back, y'all.
Jam.
It's a whole new week. And I'm very excited to announce that I have not experienced one Braxton Hicks. Braxton Hick or Braxton Hicks. You know those contractions that your stomach gets like super, super tight?
Yeah.
And they're kind of like pre-warning to labor. I haven't experienced one. And I know why.
Why?
Because I was talking to one of the nurses and we were talking and she was like, it's crazy how much hydration is like essential to life. I'm not even talking specifically to pregnancy. Like hydration.
Look, it's pretty simple to be alive. You got to breathe correctly, you got to eat correctly, and you got to drink water.
And why is it that it's like 3 simple steps and people are still fucked up on these streets?
Because we overthink everything.
No, you know what it is? It's because there's an abundance of everything in the United States of America. It's just, there's too many options.
You know what I read the other day? And it was like, blew my mind.
What did you read?
It said,
what did you read?
Water is not a universal right.
It's not.
And I was like,
it's not.
Oh my gosh, that
Susie,
is so true.
We've traveled to places where water has been scarce.
Yeah, but you don't stop to think about that. Even here, when they tell us that we are in a drought in California, you don't know how many Californians I know that they're like, nah, that's bullshit. We're not in a drought. They just want to scare us. I'm going to water my grass whenever I want to. And I'm like, have you seen the rivers? They're low. I live by Lake Matthews out in Corona. And that, what used to be way up here, because you could see where the water was, is way down here. Unless the UFOs are coming and sucking the water out and storing it somewhere to scare us, that's really happening.
Yeah.
And we may not see the lack of water. It may not be scarce while we're alive, but if we're leaving our seeds behind, what is it going to be like for them?
Yeah.
Because there is people in other countries that don't have the luxury of water.
Yeah, man. Thank God that's not us. But I have been hydrating like a motherfucker. Like I already try to hydrate a lot, even whether I'm pregnant or not. Like I think after taking my Kundalini yoga training and really understanding the anatomy of the body and how water keeps everything lubricated, right? Like I just remember that part of my training specifically. And I'm like, I want to be triggering and firing from all areas, like in my body. Right. So water is so critical to the equation. And so I was talking to one of the nurses and I was like, we were talking about labor and delivery. And she was like, have you experienced Braxton Hicks? And I was like, no. And she's like, oh, yeah, you would know if you did. You know, so if you're saying no, it's because you haven't. And I was like, yeah, I went to one of my appointments and there was this girl sitting across from me. And she was like, oh, like making these faces. And I was like, are you okay? And she's like, I'm experiencing a Braxton Hicks. And I could just, they look painful.
How does she know it was that and not a regular contraction?
Because she's had 3 kids.
Oh.
And so I'm assuming that when you've had kids before, you kind of know the difference of,
Probably.
She said basically her whole stomach tightens up.
That's a contraction.
And then it like goes away. Yeah, it's sort of a contraction, a Braxton Hicks. And
maybe she knew it was too early to have regular
It was too early.
Yeah.
That's why she knew it was a Braxton Hicks. And so the girl, my nurse asked me, she goes, do you drink a lot of water? And I said, a ton of water. And she goes, that's why. She goes, when you stay hydrated, Braxton Hicks don't happen. She goes, so you may never experience one. I was like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, another pointer she gave me is when I'm breastfeeding, she goes, you need to stay so hydrated when you're breastfeeding. Like you need to have water all over your house.
There's a specific drink too that Hannah drinks that helps with
lactation.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but ask her.
I'm gonna ask her. I mean, I bought lactation cookies. I bought lactation teas. Even though I did meet with my lactation consultant, who basically specializes in lactation, it was like a 3-hour Zoom that I did with her, and she said, just so you know, like a lot of stuff is marketing. The drinks, the cookies. She goes, your body knows. And your body knows exactly how much milk to produce for your child. And I told her, why?
Well, there are some women that overproduce though too.
I know. But I asked her that. I said, why is it that some women produce like cows? And she goes, because they get obsessed with pumping. She's like, a lot of women pump and pump and pump, and they want to create this like storage in their freezer, and they label, and they just get really into that. Right. And she said, the more you pump, the more you're telling your body that you're producing milk for more than one child. And so your body starts to say, oh, I guess I'm producing milk for twins or more than 2 kids, 3 kids. So your body just starts to produce because you're like sucking out of it. She goes, but if you breastfeed on demand, your body knows exactly how much to produce.
Who can breastfeed on demand?
Well, not a lot of people. Well, that's why a lot of women get obsessed with pumping, because they need the supply. If they go to a daycare or if they go to your mom's house or whoever's taking care of them. So they start pumping a lot, so then your body starts to produce a lot. She goes, but let's just say every woman could pump on demand. Yeah. I mean, could breastfeed on demand. Your body literally just produces enough for that baby, like on the spot. You know, and a lot of women can't breastfeed for, life. My doula, she has a 4-year-old and she still breastfeeds her baby.
Yeah.
At 4 years old.
We have a few clients that work like that.
4 years old, and there's this specific area.
Why though? What is her reason?
She still produces milk, and her baby still looks for her boob, and breast milk is like golden milk. So my lactation.
So why not pump and give it to her in a cup at this point? Why still breastfeed a 4-year-old?
Because she said that's their way of bonding. And but a lot of people look at it as weird, and there's this place in I
mean, I could understand when they're little, because that's the way to get them to get the food. But once they start,
but it's a lot of bonding too. It's not just about feeding. It's like your kid feels super safe and comforted, and as long as your nipples are getting stimulated, your body will produce the milk, because a lot of it is the nipple stimulation. Like it just reacts to the stimulation, But my lactation specialist was telling me that there's this country in Africa, and they have like the biggest kids, the healthiest kids, the tallest kids, because they believe in breastfeeding their kids until they're 6.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but in the United States, you breastfeed a 6-year-old, everyone's looking at you weird.
I mean, I think there's ways to get the milk to the child.
But why not do it naturally through your boob?
But why?
But why not? Because it's nature.
But also it interferes with your sexy time with your husband. Because
that's what I asked my doula. I go, hey, do you ever like leak milk when you're making love with your husband? And she said, no. She goes, it's a different stimulation. Like, I've never had a leak when I'm with my husband. But
I've heard that women do, because I work with a chick that's breastfeeding right now, and she says that it interferes. It leaks.
I would imagine that it does. She told me that it doesn't. She said it's a different kind of stimulation she gets from her daughter. I was like, wow, I don't want to think it's weird. I just want to think it is nature. But I think I would be good breastfeeding just for 2 years. I don't know how that I want to go like that long,
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyways, that is my lactation 101 update.
That's a lot of information.
Lord have mercy. I told you I've been reading everything on everything. I follow like every mom blog. I don't know. I love to read about this shit, because it's like, I'm not going to implement anything. I just know that a lot of this information stays in my subconscious mind.
You will implement some things because it stays in your subconscious mind.
Yeah, and I do want to implement some things. And then I was thinking about, because they do bring a lactation specialist to your room when you're, after you're given labor. But I was like, I want to take my time. I feel like a lactation specialist at a hospital might be more rushed, because they got rooms to visit. They just want to make sure the baby's latching on correctly. And there's like a certain way to latch. You know what I mean?
And even if you over ask, you can show up with a list of questions. It doesn't matter, because the baby's gonna do what the baby's gonna do.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of oh my God, it's like a crawl that the baby does right after birth. Like if they put the baby on your stomach, the baby will naturally crawl up to like your chest and latch onto your boob.
I don't know. I've never heard it.
Yeah, it's like a birth crawl. And it's like the baby naturally knows, and because it just smells and it just kind of knows like where.
I have seen that. I have not the crawling, but I have seen the baby knows exactly, eyes closed, where to go to latch on for their milk.
They know your voice. They know your.
Well, because it is a natural instinct for them to eat.
Yeah, is it? Dude, it's just crazy. Hello, do you recognize my voice yet?
Yeah, she's sick of you already. She sent me an email the other day. She was like, "Dang, Titi, can you get this lady to shut up?"
Dude, have you heard of with parents that create emails for their kids?
Yes, I sent you that.
Yeah, I think Kim Kardashian was talking about that the other day. Did you see how much heat Kim Kardashian got the other day on?
She said she struggles for being like that. It's emotionally challenging at times to be a mom of four.
Yeah, and she was on Jay Shetty's podcast, and she shared like how she cries herself to sleep because and I just. Man, the internet is so good at just
tearing people down.
Unsolicited opinions. Like, who the fuck asked you? Like, if you like.
Well, in all fairness, when you put your shit out there, you're inviting people to comment.
But I mean, how relatable was that?
Not to somebody.
I mean,
people that think that Kim Kardashian has no right, or the likes of Kim Kardashian has no right to feel any type of human experience because she's rich.
That's exactly what people point out. They're like, right? Oh, I'm crying myself to sleep because I was reading some of the comments on because everybody was reporting it, right? It was like the news of the day, and I was just going into the comments just to kind of see where people's mental space is at, and everyone's like,
"You already know."
Oh yeah, I would be crying myself to sleep at night too with the nanny and 4 chefs, and I'm like, she still has the right to feel, and she probably still gets overwhelmed. And she doesn't work a 9 to 5. She could spend a lot of time with their kids.
And it's still 4 kids that's require, a lot. And you're still their mother. And they still require your attention and your time and your discipline and sports. And regardless of the help, she's blessed to be able to have that help. She works her ass off for that money, right? So not only does she have a demanding career if she's going to keep up this lifestyle, but she also has 4 children. So, yeah, she has the help. I think anybody and everybody that can afford a nanny should get one.
Yep, I agree.
Gone are the days. Well, maybe not for some people. Some people love to be a fucking martyr, and we know that too.
But, like, for example, the other day, I was getting my hair washed. Or no, I was getting my nails done with Sophia. Oh, yeah. I was getting my nails done with Sophia, and this girl wrote to me. She's like, God, I wish I could get my nails done, but no money because I'm a
stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
SAHM.
Something like that. And I go, what is that? And I was like, is that a title? And she was like, oh, stay-at-home mom. And I said, so your husband doesn't like give you money for your nails? Like you don't have a little side hustle? Right? Because to me, that's not an excuse. Like, go get your nails done, girl. And she says, no, he just says no money. And I said, dang, like that's a hard job. And he still like isn't generous enough to, hook you up a little bit. And no. Like, she was just like...
Because people don't view it as a job, since it's your children. People view it as a complete and utter luxury to be able to be at home. But and it is, right, to be able to survive off of one income. But first of all, I think it should be considered if all we're doing is surviving. Like, do we want that lifestyle for us and our kids? Like, we don't want to just be surviving. And
that's what it sounded like.
Number 2, like, I am on all the time. I don't get a day off. I don't get a break. I don't get vacations. I am mom 24/7 when I'm at home with these kids. And then I'm also your wife. And I'm also the housekeeper. And I'm also the chef and the accountant. And usually all the hats that you wear when you're a stay-at-home mom. Like, there is literally no wiggle room in the budget for me to go out and do one thing that makes me feel good. Be it my hair colored or my nails done, a facial. Maybe you can't do all the things.
How could some men be like that and just not even be like at a moment in their life a little bit generous? Like, damn, this woman is a queen. She does it all. She keeps my household
because they don't see that. They see it as you're lucky that you get to stay home. I'm the one that's going out and doing all the real work. I'm the one that's out there and collecting the money for us to live. So that's it. Your reward. Your prize is you get to be at home.
You don't you don't work.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're on 24/7.
Yeah.
And
You literally have the hardest job of life, which is raising other good human beings.
yeah, and I asked her, I said, how do you feel about that? You know, because I could tell this girl was venting. And she says, I feel like I settled, you know, because I do, like, it's multiple kids.
But does she understand she still has choices?
Yeah, but I don't know. I couldn't get into that conversation because it's just, pobrecita, me dio lástima, but then not really. You know what I mean? It's so hard for me to feel sorry for people because I'm like, I mean, mama, you choose that. Like, I mean, I know a lot of single moms, stay-at-home mothers that have some kind of hustle. You could become an associate on Amazon. I mean, something.
Yeah.
Because she was looking at me
many ways to make
getting my
money
nails
today.
done, like wishing she could. And I'm just like, dang, like, yeah, there's so many ways to make money, even if you're a stay-at-home mom.
There's so many ways to make money that there should be nobody should have, that sentence shouldn't come out of nobody's mouth. Like,
I agree.
I am broke. Like, you may not have a lot of money left over at the end of the month, but as long as your bills are paid, your fridge is stacked, and you can put away $100 a month. So some people, that's a huge luxury, $100 a month. But honestly, there are so many now after the pandemic opportunities to make money online.
Yep.
Like the same way that you can go to school online. Like there is going to take just a little bit extra more time out of your day and effort to put into this. Yes, but the reward is worth it.
Yeah.
Whether you're out there hustling a little harder to make that little bit extra money, or whether you're out there hustling a little harder to get that degree to advance in your career, it just falls back to you believing in yourself that you're able to do that. You wanting more for yourself and not just sitting in that victimhood mindset
And just wishing.
and you then doing the work. Like, what did Curtis tell us, Man from the Stars? So many people want change, but they don't want to change.
Yeah,
So
he
you can't
he
have
said you
them
got to put
both.
feet to the prayers.
Yeah.
You could pray all you want, but you got to put feet to the prayers in order for them to happen.
And people may get triggered when they hear me say that. Like, there's absolutely no reason that you should be broke. People may get triggered.
Oh, I say that all the
we
time.
don't know everybody's circumstances, but there really is no reason that you cannot have a little nest egg of $100 a month. You just need to put a little bit more effort. There is more time in the day.
Yeah.
I get it. You're tired. I get it. I'm tired a lot too. There is more time. Carve it out. Make it happen. You know, I don't have daycare. Find the avenue. Find the vehicle that's going to bring that money to you. But if you already are starting with, I can't, I have no help, I don't know, there's no way, that's the life that is the foundation you're building your life on.
Yeah.
All the negative blocks. So of course
and your kids are gonna pick up on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it's a whole topic.
I swear, like I should have Venmoed that girl some money to go get her nails done. Like, now that I think about it,
it's not your responsibility.
I know, now that I think, but it's just like, it's not my responsibility. But I felt so like,
she has a partner, a life partner.
Well, that's what I told her. Are you a single mom? And she was just like, no, I have a husband. And I was like, he's not generous, like, to give you money. She was just like, no, he doesn't see the need. He doesn't
see her value.
That's what it is.
That's what the fuck it is.
Yeah, I wanted to go off, but I was like, oh God, this is gonna take a lot of energy to have this
also,
conversation.
it's not just his fault.
No, because she allowed it. She said, I've settled for this. So,
yeah, and
action time, baby.
It's not settling, because it's such a joy to raise your children. If you're not happy in this, fix it. You know, if you're not happy in only your title being only a stay-at-home mom, and trust me, I've been both. And that stay-at-home mom title, many times you feel unappreciated, undervalued, and unappreciated, because you do so much. You give so much every day, constantly, 24/7, and very rarely do they pour back into you. If you don't make that be known, like, this doesn't work for me. Like, I don't like that you come home and you don't help me, or I don't like that you come home and you expect X, Y, and Z be done. You don't show me any grace because
maybe a lot of stay-at-home moms don't feel like they have the right to speak up.
Maybe, or maybe it's not a safe space because of what's been cultivated. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a fucking rabbit hole that we can go down.
Yeah,
a lot.
I know.
But I can say with certainty that role is one that you feel very unappreciated a lot of times.
Yeah, I just thought it was so whack how people were going in on Kim. I was like, I mean, she's probably used to it. She probably,
Yeah, she don't care.
I mean, I saw an interview they did. All the sisters are like, we don't even read comments because for what, you know?
I don't.
Yeah, I do.
Can't even tell you the last time that I went to Apple Podcasts and read a comment because I don't care.
Because the reviews?
I could tell you.
I don't even think we get a lot anymore because we're subscription based.
Yeah, I don't read them. It doesn't matter to me because, like, I read this thing the other day and it said, don't take advice on your journey from people who've never left their home.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're literally doing what I am doing. If you're an amazing hairdresser, absolutely, I want to lean into you and I want to learn. If you're killing it as a wife and a mom, absolutely, I want to lean into you and I want to learn. If you have a podcast that's producing you income and it's easily flowing and good, like solid, absolutely, I want to sit with you and learn. If you're just sitting behind your keyboard and have a fucking opinion because you're bored, that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I don't read the comments either. And so I'm not on the scale of the Kardashians yet anyways.
Oh, say yet.
So yeah, I could totally see how, yeah. And I don't.
When I read that comment, it's just crazy how everybody what's that word? Like the way you interpret, the way you interpret everything. Everybody interprets things differently because I was like, that's like one of the most relatable things I've seen Kim say.
But she's not allowed to be relatable because she's rich.
Oh Lord! Like,
or no, let me say it. She is not relatable to a lot of people because she's rich. Because ignorant people think that money buys happiness.
I thought it was one of the most relatable things she said. I was like, oh my God, I could imagine because she's literally a single parent. The kids seem to be with her a lot. Kim,
we don't. I mean, we. Just
I don't know, but I'm just saying she co-parents with Kanye, but we also know he's kind of mentally unstable. He don't seem like he's like super duper involved.
And I think even with a co-parenting situation, there's still a home base.
Yes,
kids still come and are with one parent more than the other,
and that's why a lot of moms, because a lot of moms are home based. A lot of moms feel like single moms. Because they're like, the kids are with me 80% of the time.
Yeah.
So, yes, I am a co-parenting parent. But come on. Mom's the one getting shit done. 95% of the time.
And even if I have a nanny or two, if my baby is hurt and I have a deadline to meet and I have a meeting to take, but my baby is hurt or not feeling well and all my baby wants is me and not the nanny, at that point, she's not helpful to me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to find a way to shuffle all this and shelf it and still tend to my child. It's still heavy on our hearts.
Yeah.
Regardless of our financial situation. Okay, let me tell you my highlight real quick.
Go, dale.
Girl, I went to the ortho the other day and she was like, okay, we have one tooth. So you know your two front bottom teeth?
Yes.
So the one to my left of those two front teeth, it was a little bit lower than all of them. So when I was talking, I could see that my teeth were straight, but it still didn't look like a clean line. So she noticed it too. So she was like, I'm going to install your wires a certain way so that way it moves your tooth up.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. She said, and then the next time you come in, which is in 4 weeks, we're going to scan for your retainers. And then your appointment after that, you'll be out of your braces. So my braces come off in August.
Oh my gosh.
And let me tell you, my tooth moved immediately by the end of that night, and it wasn't a ton of movement. So anybody out there that has braces that is going through it and you're like, wait a second, that didn't happen to me. First of all, I have a great orthodontist.
Yeah.
And second of all.
And you should be making forward progress with your orthodontist. You should be talking about, like, when are my braces coming off?
Yes.
Because I've met people that their braces stay on for, like, years and years. Yes. I'm like, okay, well, like, do you have this open relationship with your ortho? Are they telling you what the progress of your teeth is? Are you asking the right questions? Some people just are like, oh, no, they said 5 years and that's it. And I'm just like, but
and I'm sure
it could be less.
Jobs are more extreme than others.
Yes.
You know, some people need to have teeth pulled and like I had crowding on this side of my mouth. So at some point they had to like file in between my teeth a little bit. So that way there was room for my teeth.
Oh my God, your teeth are so straight now. Remember
they
when
are
you would
so pretty.
Remember when you would see yourself in the camera and you were like, oh, I hate the way my bottom
I talk with my mouth all wide open. I'm like, hey y'all, welcome to my Instagram.
But man, let me tell you, man, braces to anybody that is hesitant because, oh God, food are gonna get it. I think braces, personally for me, it teaches you amazing oral hygiene. Because even now that I don't have braces, I'm always checking to see if I have food in my teeth. I'm always making sure that my retainers are being cleaned at home with the little retainer tablets, with the the things that clean your retainers. It just teaches you such good hygiene. And so, like, even your kids, if they get braces at a young age, they're learning that because you become,
and it gives you confidence.
And
who wants a messed up grill?
Listen, there's people that I see on a daily basis that I want to go up and be like, listen, y'all, can you invest in your grill? It is so nasty.
They are not priced what they used to be.
Especially with our connect, Dr. Partovi.
If you guys want the inside of my ortho, just shoot me a DM and I'll hook you up with that.
Yeah, you got to tell them Las Cordova sent me, because we always send her like recommendations, and she does great work. Yeah. And her braces are priced out so epically.
Yeah, she works. She's very Dr. Partovi is very like community based.
Yes.
So she has priced her, I think, braces very aggressively.
I have not seen braces like at that price in nowhere. Most people are like, you paid what? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, you got jacked.
Yeah. Seriously.
Because braces these days, like in other states, people that write to me, they're like, girl, I paid $4,500. I paid $7,000. I paid $5,000. And I'm like, oh no. And this includes, the price she gives you includes your retainers, your x-rays, all that.
Yeah. I love it.
All that.
Anyhow, my teeth are almost to the finish line.
They look great.
I'm getting my retainers soon. And so my next vacation is going to be braceless.
Brace free. So you can be able to eat all that delicious food in Oaxaca.
Oh, honey, I didn't let me stop me.
Oh, I know. Eventually you get used to braces.
I was like, babe, I wouldn't even tell my travelers, my travel buddies.
Yeah.
I got shit in my teeth.
Yeah, it's funny because at the beginning you're like, oh, I can't eat nothing crunchy. I can't do this. Eventually you will be biting into everything.
The only thing I haven't done.
Do you eat crunchy stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I haven't done is chew gum.
Yeah, I'd never chewed gum.
Or like bite into an apple. Like
you can't.
Yeah, I know.
Girl, the other day I broke my apple slicer. I was trying to slice my apple because, like, who cuts it with a knife these days when you have a apple slicer?
Oh, wow.
Amazon, like $5.99, right? And I guess it just wasn't sturdy, and it broke my freaking apple slicer. So I ordered an industrial apple slicer.
You're ridiculous.
It was like $9.99. It was for an apple slicer. That's a little bit more expensive. But I was like,
What makes it industrial?
It's heavy duty, bitch.
Okay, why?
It's heavy duty.
I gotta see this.
I'm gonna show you right now.
To your house after this.
It's heavy duty. It just looks like it won't break. It looks like they'll use this shit at a restaurant. It just looks fucking solid. It's made out of metal.
Did you buy me one?
No.
Wow.
Do you have an apple slicer?
Rude. No.
You mean
me and Mel are archaic and we use a knife.
Can you believe it? Dude, an apple slicer cuts apples so perfectly.
So does a knife.
No, it cuts it from the core, bitch.
So does a knife, bitch.
Listen, straight up sister squad. How many of you guys cut your apples with a knife or with an apple slicer? Come on, Susie, you're bougie. Get with the program.
A knife works just fine.
Listen,
I'd rather take those extra $10 and go on vacation.
What's $10?
Add it to my vacation fund.
God.
Hey, but that's a way for people that overspend on unnecessary shit. Keep it real.
Susie, you don't overspend on unnecessary shit on Amazon? Ever.
I'm not saying I don't. I'm giving a tip to all my Patreons out there that say I can't afford X, Y, and Z. You probably can.
I bet you they afford Starbucks.
Spending money on things like apple slicers, which we really don't need. And you could take those $10 and put it into your fund for what it is that you really want.
Apples. This is my lately go-to snack. Apple slices with dates and walnuts.
You know, one of my favorite snacks?
So fucking good.
Red apple slices with raw broccoli and walnuts. The taste of the sweet and the salty and the greeny of the broccoli. Bomb.
So apples, broccoli, and walnuts. Mine is apples, dates, pitted dates or not pitted, but I prefer pitted sometimes, but whatever you grab. And apples, pitted dates, and walnuts.
I get mad whenever I grab unpitted dates.
Yeah,
like if I'm not paying attention.
The bag that I got this last time was unpitted.
I was like,
with myself. Sometimes you like bite into it, you're like, fuck, I forgot there was a seed in it.
Annoying.
Dates are so good. They say they soften the cervix. So I've been eating a lot of them. I need this cervix to be soft. Like I need the baby to like glow, just flow out of me. Okay, y'all. What are we talking about today? Action time?
I'm talking about a lot of shit, girl.
Action time, baby. Because you know what?
It's time. It's time that we start taking action. It's not like life running us over and having its way with us. Those days are over.
Those days are
That's
over.
so played out. It's time to show up and take action.
Yeah, I'm all about that life. And let me tell you something. There's a huge difference in the quality of life that you will have when you do show up to life and take action. Like,
it's time to take action.
Those are the people that are taking action, or the people that you're watching through social media. Like, oh God, I wish I could have that life. I wish I could travel here. I wish I could. And it's just like, that's the difference. Like, somebody used an example one time. You're either going to be a player in the game, or you're always going to be a spectator at the game.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like experiencing the game and dribbling the ball and shooting versus just like watching and just always being in the stands and cheering and eating popcorn and drinking beer.
I mean,
that's
like,
that's cool.
That's fun too.
Yeah, only if it's at a Laker game.
If you need a break.
Dude, what's up with the Lakers? They suck.
Oh, well, they're done.
They're done. Everyone has been praising LeBron. I'm like, what? Kobe is...
Who praises LeBron? I don't know
a lot of
anybody
people
that likes him.
But you know what? Kobe
we
right
call
now...
him LeBum.
Kobe right now from heaven's like, bro, take off the jersey. You're embarrassing me.
Kobe said that?
I mean, Kobe's last post on Instagram entrusted LeBron with the team, bitch. That was Kobe's last post.
Well, he should have done his research.
He's probably like, bro, take off the jersey.
Me and Booger were talking. I wonder if they're going to hang his jersey in the rafters, if they're going to retire LeBron's.
I don't know.
I do not want him to be retired as a Laker.
I am not a big LeBron fan.
Either.
Okay?
I'm just not. Anyhow, it's not personal to the man because I don't know him.
It's not.
I just don't like him as a Laker.
Me
like,
either.
I feel like it don't match. But listen, when we come back, we're going to talk to our Patreons, because our Patreons, our straight up sister squad, I feel like they're right there with us.
They are.
Like, I feel like at this point, like, we know the things, we've heard the talks, we've read the books, we've heard the guests, we've done the workshops, and it's like we're simmering, we're simmering, getting ready to boil. So now it's action time. And that's what we're going to talk about when we come back. Yep.